You might picture medieval monks as quiet, solemn men who spent all day praying in stone monasteries. But the truth? Their lives were anything but silent or simple. Behind the cloister walls were stories of forbidden feasts, secret brewing, coded manuscripts, and even scandal. Today, we're pulling back the monastery curtains to expose the secret lives of medieval monks. Let's start at the beginning. Why did people become monks in the first place? In medieval Europe, joining a monastery wasn't always a spiritual choice. Sure, some were truly devout, seeking closeness to God, but many others, they were sent there. If you were a noble's younger son, your older brother inherited the land, and you might be encouraged to serve God instead. Monasteries offered stability, food, and education, luxuries most peasants could only dream of, so it also encouraged peasants to join. So while monasteries promised a life of prayer, for many men, they also offered safety, influence, and even political power. And yes, not all monks took their vows of poverty as seriously as you might think. Some monasteries became incredibly wealthy, owning vast lands and collecting taxes from peasants. They were spiritual centres, yes, but also powerful economic machines. So what was life really like inside those thick monastery walls? A monk's day was ruled by the bells. Literally, 7 times a day, they'd stop whatever they were doing to gather for prayer. At midnight, dawn, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, and night. The rhythm of prayer shaped everything. But when they weren't praying, monks worked hard. They grew crops, tended gardens, brewed ale, and copied manuscripts by hand. Copying a Bible or a manuscript could take years, and imagine doing that by candlelight. Some monks became the best scholars of their time, preserving ancient Greek and Roman knowledge that might have been lost forever. But it wasn't all work and worship. They also brewed beer. Yes, beer. In fact, many historians credit medieval monks for perfecting brewing techniques still used today. Each monastery had its own secret recipe, and their ale was often safer to drink than water. Now, about that vow of poverty, let's just say not everyone stuck to it. Some monasteries became so rich that monks lived better than many nobles. They dined on roasted meats, fine wine, and sweet pastries, despite strict rules about fasting and modesty. And while monks took vows of chastity, temptations weren't always left at the gate. Records from the Middle Ages show secret affairs, visits from women, and even entire scandals involving abbots breaking their vows. Some monasteries were known to be relaxed about the rules, others cracked down hard, even expelling members for disobedience. But one thing's for sure, beyond the rumours and feasts, monks were the guardians of knowledge. In an age when most people couldn't read or write, monks were the librarians of civilization. They copied not just religious texts, but also ancient science, medicine, and philosophy. And they left clues behind. Some manuscripts contained strange doodles, animals playing instruments, or hidden faces in the margins. Were they just bored? Maybe. But some historians think these drawings carried secret meanings, jokes, or even criticisms of the church. In fact, one of the biggest secrets they guarded was literacy itself. Being able to read Latin gave monks immense power. They controlled what people knew and what they believed. By the late Middle Ages, monasteries faced a crisis. Their wealth and influence made them targets, both of reformers who saw them as corrupt and of kings who wanted their land. During the Protestant Reformation in the 1500s, many monasteries were dissolved. Monks were forced out, libraries were burned, and treasures were stolen. Some monks adapt, becoming priests or scholars. Others vanished into history. But their legacy remained. The manuscripts they copied, the beer they brewed, and the knowledge they preserved still shape our world today. So were the medieval monks saints or sinners? Maybe a little bit of both. They prayed, they worked, they preserved human knowledge, but they also indulged, rebelled, and lived full, complicated lives. Their secret world reminds us that history is never black and white. It's human.